All right, Chris, you've done really well for yourself. I'm very proud of you. Now, it's time to go up there. That's right, Chris. Going to the next episode of the Heavenly Movies. So long, Chris. Bye, Chris. Guess they're going to the Heavenly Movies also. Take care, guys. What are we talking about today?
What this is, I want this video to have 1 million views.
1 million? Woo, that's a lot.
And see, you know why? Because we are talking about the Heavenly Kid.
Kid, yes. This is a long time in the making. When we created this show, we wanted to name it after like one of the great 80s movies of all time.
Yeah.
And I think AJ had the idea to name it The Heavenly 80s, and it is named after the Heavenly Kid.
This sponsor of this video is the Heavenly Kid.
Yes.
Thank you, sponsor.
It is one of my very favorite 80s movies
it's so awesome.
Ever. Came out, I'll tell you a little bit about it. Came out in 1985. I was 7 years old, and I actually didn't see all of it in the movie theater. I went to see Back to the Future, because Back to the Future came out at the same time as The Heavenly Kid. So after Back to the Future, we snuck in with my folks and your uncles, and we saw a little bit of The Heavenly Kid. And then later I watched it on VHS, and I just loved it. It was not a big movie.
It's not, because Back to the Future was like, wow, you guys see this movie.
So, Back to the Future made $381 million. Guess how much The Heavenly Kid made?
$10.
$3.8 million. So,
not bad.
Back to the Future made 100 times as much money as Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. This sponsor that is not is Back to the Future.
Yeah, Back to the Future made 100 times as much as The Heavenly Kid. But this won like awards for like best family movie of the year, not an Oscar, but some other awards. So this is a good little movie.
Oh, it's
I love it.
family.
So we're gonna talk a couple questions. First, one question that has always bothered me. It's one of the reasons we started the show, and one of the questions I always want to answer. Do you remember what the question is?
Who is the Heavenly Kid?
Who is
because
the
he's
Heavenly
a grown-up.
Kid?
But he's a kid.
Is
but
he?
he's
Well,
in
this is
heaven.
you and me. Should we take this off? I don't want to mess up the poster. Here we go. Let's do this one.
See,
Who?
like, look, see, it's like the grown-up with it, but he's in heaven.
Well, tell them about the
but
Heavenly
he's
Kid.
not a kid.
Tell people what the Heavenly Kid is about. Do you not remember?
Yes, I do. It was like it was so awesome. It's about this guy that died from like he was in a car ice cream.
It was like in the
and then,
1960s.
And then go to heaven.
Well, not yet. That's what the whole movie's about. He's what you call a greaser. People who used to wear jackets like this, they were called greasers.
Why?
Grease. Look, right behind you. It's a very famous movie. The people who wore the motorcycle jackets had the hair all greased up, smoking cigarettes. They were like the coolest people. Back then, it was a really cool look. And they were called greasers. And he was, his name was Bobby, and he was a greaser from the 1960s. He had his girlfriend, who he was very much in love with.
And then, like, this thing, like,
crashed his car, died in a contest.
With the race, and he
Right.
couldn't get out of the seatbelt, right?
Right, yep. And so he is thinking he's going to heaven, and he's about to go to heaven, and he doesn't go to heaven. The guardian angel stops him and says, you can't
You
go.
have to do
It's not called
something.
heaven. What's it called?
The heaven?
Yeah, do you remember what it's called?
Hell?
No, it's called Uptown.
Town?
Uptown, but he can't go uptown until he does one more job for him.
He
right?
goes in the bus, like, for, like, so many years, right?
He's on, like, the subway train for a long time, yeah. and he's just like purgatory, right? It's like you're not in heaven, you're not in hell. Then he gives him his job, and he's the guardian angel to this kid, a teenager, and we won't spoil it that much. I guess we could spoil it. Who cares? The movie's 36 years old.
Nobody wants to
So
watch
what's the big secret, the big reveal in the movie?
The big reveal, he's married, the girlfriend is married to the enemy
Yeah, that's one of them. Yep, she ends up marrying the guy who he raced in that race that he died in. But the kid is his kid. He doesn't realize that at the beginning.
Oh, you're right.
That's his son. So that's why I always wondered, who's the heavenly kid? Because he's like cool, and he's like a cool kid. But this guy is also a kid, and he is his kid. So is he the heavenly kid because he's like an angel?
But he's going to die. Remember, there's a moment that he was like.
Yes, but
that's why
he saved him, and he thought that was it, but that wasn't.
Just to make him like not lose him, right?
Yeah, and then at the end he was going to die again, and then he's kind of saved him again. Yeah.
So.
I think he's the heavenly kid because you know why? Actually, I think this explains it. Right? This is the other movie poster, and only he is on it, right? And it says the heavenly kid. So, I think we must assume that Bobby, played by, what's his name? Lewis Smith, is the heavenly kid. I tried to get Lewis Smith to come on the show. He teaches acting now in California, and I wrote him an email, showed how adorable you were, and I wanted to get him like on a Zoom call, but he hasn't responded. Maybe one day.
But who is it? But like, maybe he's like this. Maybe he's like, why is he doing this? Maybe
he's like, because it's very 80s. Wacky comedy. And so that goes to our other question, right?
I'm thinking, who is the heavenly kid?
I think I answered it. I think this shirt answers it.
How?
Because there's one person on the picture, and it says right there, heavenly kid.
That's his kid.
Yeah. But it's like, he's heavenly, like he's cool, he's like from a different, he's not from Earth. Yeah. You think it's the other guy?
Yeah.
Alright, you disagree.
Because the heavenly, he's heavenly, and he's the king.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's his kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. It's like, that's his kid. Alright, I mean, we may never know the answer to this. We have to get Lewis Smith on the show, and we'll ask him.
And you're like, hey, Lewis Smith, how are you? Oh!
And you know what he'd say? He'd say, I got it covered. That was his big line from the movie.
No, I know.
What's the best part of the Heavenly Kid?
Stuff.
Come on, you're talking to me. Do you remember the movie?
Yes, I remember the movie.
Okay.
I like when the what's it? Like he was naked in the clothes store because.
Oh yeah.
The,
yeah, look. Oh, so we got to add that to it. This has got to go on our list.
Like,
next thing we do. Yes. I like when he builds the car, right? And goes to the junkyard, and the car's all beat up. And he builds the car. There's awesome special effects, and you see the ropes pulling the car. And I like when, near the beginning of the movie, when they first meet, and they accidentally walk off the cliff, and then they're arguing, and they're just in midair, and that's when the kid realizes that he really is an angel.
I remember, this guy, Bobby, he's in the street, and like the truck is coming.
Oh yeah.
Like.
He's gonna wait because he's trying to prove that he was an angel. Yeah.
And then like the kid's like, I trust you. I know you're an angel now.
Yeah.
And then he jumps off.
Yeah, I think he says like, I might be an angel, but I'm not stupid or something like that, or I'm not crazy. Yeah. Anyway, such a great movie. Most people don't remember it. I think it's on YouTube for free. Somebody just uploaded it and nobody's even said anything about it. That's how incredibly unpopular this movie is. This is probably the least popular movie we've done here. Right? But here's my other question. This is a big one. Could The Heavenly Kid be the greatest 80s movie ever made?
Can it be perfect? It can be like Mona Lisa.
Yes, you're right. It's better than saying the greatest 80s movie because there's other 80s movies that I like more. I love Rocky IV more than this. But I do think it might be. I don't know what this means. But is it the perfect 80s movie?
We don't know.
Well, how are we going to figure that out?
We got some the Heavenly 80s rules And,
Yes. The ingredients for a great 80s movie.
Like the pot. Like, you need the ingredients.
And if you have all of them, you might be a perfect 80s movie.
Okay.
All right, what's one ingredient?
It's like gotta be like a bull on like a naughty guy.
Yes.
And then it's like, and then he told so powerful that he's like a bully, and his
got it.
girlfriend's like, "Oh my
Wait, you're going through too many.
Loser.
Nerd becomes
Bully.
popular. No.
Become popular and then turn into a bully.
Wait,
and
wait,
have no
wait.
friends. And
You are
girlfriend.
jumping ahead. Okay, nerd becomes popular. What other movies like have that?
Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf.
Can't Buy Me Love.
Can't Buy Me Love over there. Yeah, very good. I think there are a bunch of others. Was there no Back to the Future? Maybe a little Back to the Future. Remember? No, not really. Oh, Just One of the Guys was kind of like that. There was a nerdy girl that became kind of popular when she became a guy. But that's a good one. All right, number 2. You mentioned it. You got the nerd, which means you need the.
What?
Who's messing with the nerd? No, his father's not messing with him.
Huh?
Well, first of all, we may have skipped one. You need. What are all these people? They are. Teenagers, right? You need teenagers. Right? Now, if you have a nerd and you have teenagers, what else do you need?
80s music?
No. Who is the other ingredient? You got a nerd and you got teens.
A
Somebody's
girlfriend?
gonna, yes, but I'll put we'll get there. A bully, right? You need bullies. You
Oh
need
yeah.
bully or bullies, maybe, right?
A bully.
Okay.
Bully.
Bullies. Now you said it. You need the girl.
Be like, oh, I love you so much.
Well, you need the popular girl who
Like,
he
oh,
likes,
she's such a loser.
and you need the nerdy girl who he pays no mind, and then at the end he realizes this is my true love. She's the one who really loves me.
Yeah, she is the one that loves me no matter the person. Doesn't matter how naughty I am or popular. It matters of the person you are inside.
Yes, nerd girl equals
/ hot dog.
true love. Okay, you mentioned it. What else? What are we listening to? On a great
80s music.
awesome 80s music, and it can't be like real famous, like big hit 80s movies. You need like cheesy stuff that
Like
this. Do you know how cheesy this movie was?
Yeah.
So they put out. This is something I've got to get for my collection. They put out a record, right, of the Heavenly Kid music, and it was messed up. They messed up how they made it, and whenever you'd play the record, it would like mess up, and you couldn't play the whole record. And I think so few people bought the thing that they didn't even fix it. They were just like, meh, just leave them out there. So if you could get a Heavenly 80s, a Heavenly Kid record, it's messed up. All right.
Maybe
80s.
music / gotta be cheesy.
But awesome, yeah, cheesy.
Hashtag
cheesy,
awesome.
Yeah. Cheesy's the
But
right word.
hashtag cheesy. Hashtag whack.
Cheesy 80s
They gotta be so whack.
music. Okay, what else? I told you about.
Bad special effects.
That's it, buddy. You got it.
Trash.
Trash special effects. There was a lot of it in this movie.
Oh,
Right?
gosh. Like, like in the car, like the background, maybe. Like, I think the.
Oh yeah, I like when when he's walking home with him when they first meet, and Bobby's riding a bike,
Oh yeah.
and then the bike is just riding itself. And the best is like when there's strings and stuff, and they don't even bother. I don't think back then you couldn't take them out that easily, so there's just strings all over the place, and it's awesome. It's so bad, it's so awesome. Bad like green screens and all that.
Fat Joe.
What else? This is all pretty good.
Let's see. Clothes.
These are pretty good. You know, maybe like 80s clothes, yeah, 80s fashion.
Like with
Well,
a
that-
hat.
you know,
the
but that
hat's
aren't-
like this, bro.
That all comes with being teenagers. Another one is like every once in a while, like a famous person pops up who's not maybe wasn't that famous. This doesn't have a lot of it. It's got what's her name, Jane Kaczmarek, who went on to be on a show called Malcolm in the Middle, which was kind of famous. She's probably the most famous person in the movie. Richard Mulligan was in a show called Empty Nest.
1968.
1968. Got it. But yeah, the kid who played the Heavenly Kid, what's his name? Jason Gedrick. He had a good little career. He did all right for himself.
This guy's dead?
No, nobody's dead. Everybody's
For
alive.
him.
They're both alive.
Is anybody in this movie dead?
Richard Mulligan, who played, what's his name? Godfrey? I don't forgot his name. He's the guardian angel. He's dead. Yeah. All right, so we got 7, and look,
The last one is
Heavenly. Is there a last one? Right, movie poster. Poster.
That's not on DVD.
It is on DVD, but you know how cheesy it is? You could get it on a DVD with like another movie. It's like they squeeze like, 2 or 3 movies into one DVD and they sell it for like $1, like at the discount bin. This movie is just like such trash. Nobody watches
Who's the
it.
director?
But it's
Who's the
great.
director?
The guy who directed it, I don't think directed anything else. I think he's like an English teacher in California or something like that. He's not famous at all. I forgot.
Okay, we gotta
Yeah.
see Unfamous.
I tried getting him too. I'm gonna try to get him. I'm gonna ask him about this. Look, if this was the list of the ingredients of a great 80s movie, we'd be like, check, 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 check. Perfect. So, I say yes, The Heavenly
Yes!
Kid is the perfect 80s movie.
Oh!
Go rent it. Go to your local VHS store and rent.
Or go even on YouTube.
Yeah, or you can just watch it for free on YouTube. The bootleg version.
Or.
It does not exist on Blu-ray, I don't think. Which is a shame. Okay, get on Betamax. All right, good episode. This is not going to be our only episode on The Heavenly Kid. I think we're going to come back one day. We're going to do The Heavenly Kid again.
Zoom guy?
We got to get somebody from the movie. And then we'll do it Zoom while we talk to them. Yeah. All right, until then.
Oh.
You got it covered?
Yeah, subscribe that video, and if you don't subscribe it, you're gonna be dead. But don't worry, if you like this guy with Bobby, he's gonna save your life.
You get to go uptown.
You go up.
All right.
And then if you got do the notification, we're gonna let you know when Bobby's coming to you.
You know we didn't put on this that maybe we should have?
What? Cool stuff?
Maybe not appropriate for kids, but back in the 80s.
Bad words?
No, boobs. They'd have boobs all over these movies. I don't know if this movie's got boobs in it. I think there might have been a brief shot, but it's nothing, so maybe not. Oh, so it's like one. It's still perfect. Maybe more perfect because it's okay for kids. I think it's, yeah, it could have boobs because it was a family movie, so I think it's PG. PG-13.
Hello. Today.
Okay. All right, ring your bell.
I did.
Did you ring both the bells?
Yeah.
All right, then we're out of here.
Yay.
See you next time.
On the Heavenly 80s. Ba-ching!